Real men don't beg or over communicate. He told you what he wanted and what he needed, and you did not give it. So you already lost. He's not going to keep repeating himself or try to convince you. If the energy doesn't match, he will just move on. There will be no arguing. There will be no extra talking. It will just be distance. And that's that.
Where is the accountability? Why is it always our fault? Yes, I chose the nice guy. You know what happened? Turned out to be a covert narcissist, completely destroyed my self-worth and confidence. So then I decided to remove myself from the dating pool and heal and grow and evolve into who I am today, meaning now I'm celibate, not dating, and I'm happy with my life. But now I'm too picky because my standards and boundaries are really strong and really high, and I'm gonna die with a bunch of cats. Because I'm too picky. I guess I'll take the cats or the bear or the shark, and I'll stay alone if these are my options.
Ladies, if you want a guy approaching you out in the wild, I see a lot of TikToks of girls complaining, nobody approaches us anymore. Nobody approaches me. All you have to do is make eye contact and smile. That's all you have to do, okay? Stop looking away, okay? Look at him, smile at him, and odds are listen, he might come up and talk to you. He might come up and shoot a shot with you. He might come up and ask you to a nice seafood dinner. Okay? He might end up marrying you. All you have to do is look in his direction and smile.
I think a lot of modern women are so short-sighted that they don't really understand that the person who they are, who they're proud of, is actually going to hold them back. And I know you like the spirit. You know, I fought through this and I've gone through that, and it made me the person that I am today. And so they feel like in a lot of situations, in a lot of cases, well, you know, I had to fight through some stuff to build myself up to this person. And men will appreciate that about me. And so they'll say, oh yeah, she's a fighter, I love her. But that's not the way it goes, because that fight and that disrespect turns to him. There's nothing wrong with you challenging and trying to help him out, but a lot of times modern women are downright disrespectful.
Now, I don't know what your daddy told you, but that ain't how the game go. You know, women's lib is cool. I'm all for equal pay, equal work. Women deserve the rights, all of that. But you got to take care of a woman. If you're not willing to do that, what are you doing? What you doing? There are three ways a man shows his love: protect, profess, and provide. Provision is big for men. We take a woman out, we're paying. That's the man way. If you sitting up in here and you got to have her pay for her own food, that ain't the man way. See, we done stopped teaching young dudes how to be men. It's the man way.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
I need to say something because I've been seeing you all put this 85% of black men are married to black women stat in my comment section of the video. And I need to clear something up because you all are running this statistic into the ground incorrectly. This is true. 85% of black men are married to black women. Only 35% of y'all are married though. It's a percentage of a percentage. You all are not getting married. Actually, 51% of you all have never been married. And if we add the ones that are divorced, separated, and widowed, 66% of you all are walking around out here right now, not married to anyone. You all are perpetual bachelors, and then have the nerve to look at black women and look at that data and say, look, they're the ones that are least to get married out of everyone. And the only reason that is that their race loyalty to you, who is 66% of y'all are not getting married, affects the women in the community. You all be using stats and data, not understanding the full picture. I need y'all to stop doing that.
And what you're seeing a lot is a lot of these modern women are claiming that they're boss babes, they're strong, independent women. I'm a girl boss, all up and down my timeline, all up and down your timeline, all up and down social media. I'm this, I'm that. You can't stop me. I'm unstoppable. I'm a car with no brakes or whatever that says. I'm a skydiver. I sleep whatever it means. I don't know. The point is, I'm sure they're talking about being a boss babe. Great. You're empowered. You're a woman. You're fantastic. All of that stuff. Get your money. But the fact of the matter is, and statistics tell us that there's a lot of these modern women out there that are broke. They're in the group chat begging for money. Actually, they take it out of the group chat now. Now it's, I'm online begging for money. I'm looking for men who will just donate to me for no apparent reason. I have not given them any value. I'm not even their friend. I have not even so much as said hi to them. Send me $50.
Do men actually want relationships anymore?
Yes, but it's a little different. Okay, something happened where a lot of men have a lot more leverage, okay? Like, especially kind of like the top percent of men, the higher caliber ones who might be a little taller, have a good job. They don't want to settle for the first girl who comes around. You know, they want to keep their options open a little bit longer. So I think a lot of women are kind of struggling with that and don't really know how to play that game.
How does a lady play that game? Get a high caliber man?
Make yourself available to the guy you want, okay? Don't try to play hard to get with him. It's not going to work on a guy like that who just has too many options. There's a thing where you can make yourself available, but you know, you don't have to be super desperate. But when he texts you to hang out, don't blow him off.
You also have to look at another issue where you have a lot of guys out here are hearing, I deserve a man who does X, Y, and Z. The problem with that is that a lot of women, man, they can barely figure out who they are. You know, their life is not really together. They know, you know, kind of what they want because they see it on TV, but they're not really where they need to be honest. And we can go from, well, this is where I want to be, because there's a lot of people that want to be here, a lot of different places, but we're just talking about where you need to be in order to get a man that you're wanting, or that honestly and truly, once again, that you need. A lot of modern women are not there. You're not even halfway there. There's a lot of stuff that you need to do before you even come close to needing to starting to talk to a man that you actually need. This is stuff that you actually need. We're not even talking about the stuff that you want. Practice? Talking about practice, man.
If you are a woman's best option, she is going to be sweet as pie. She is going to be putting in effort. She is going to be available. She's going to be gentle, patient, easygoing. This is the type of relationship that a lot of guys are looking for, and it does not require work. On the other hand, if she is difficult or distant or inconsistent or impatient or demanding or whatever, it's almost always because she believes that she could do better. Maybe she had a better option in the past who may not have wanted the kind of relationship that she did. Maybe she is comparing herself to her friends or social media, or maybe she's just delusional about her value and expectations. The reason doesn't really matter. The upshot is that you're not going to have a good time, and you'll be putting in more and more effort for smaller and smaller returns. The smart move is to select women who understand that they're lucky to be there. Anything less is a job.
Okay. So when the issue requires it, men can definitely think the way you showed those crazy train tracks. When logic and reason is needed, he's got it. I just hate how simplified this is. For a lot of men, they're heavily efficient. If that one track is what gets the job done, that's exactly what he's going to do. Not only that, but there are men out there who are also overthinkers as well. I mean, finances, dating, status, rejection, work, like, there's so many different things. I just hate how there's, like, so many things that paint men as, like, less intelligent or less capable in any way. And, I mean, there's a lot of women out there who are also logical and straightforward thinkers.
A lot of men are moving differently. A lot of men are moving silently. You can call it checking out. Really, honestly and truly, when you think about it, men don't really actually check out of society. They're not actually checking out of society. They're because they still live in society. They still work in society. They still have family. that's in society. They still have friends that are in society, whether it's a girlfriend or a guy friend. They still have those people that they go and talk to, they engage with. Brothers are going for hikes, walking in the woods, camping, hunting, going and playing basketball, getting involved in a plethora of different hobbies. What they're actually checking out of is the society that you created, the society that you want him to live in. And he's essentially saying, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to sign up for that. I've already seen my brother or my homeboy or my dad or whoever, even myself. I've kind of tried to opt into your world to understand how you run things. But then when I ask you to come into my world, all of a sudden it's a problem. If we can't get on the same page in that regard, then why do I need to keep on trying?
I'm collecting applications for a date for tonight. Do you want to apply?
I can't. They can. Sorry.
Okay. I'm collecting applications for a date for tonight. Do you want to apply?
Applications for a date?
For a date.
No, thank you.
No? So pity. I'm collecting applications for a date for tonight. Do you want to apply?
No, sorry.
I'm collecting applications for a date for tonight. Do you want to apply?
Sorry, what did you say?
I'm collecting applications for a date for tonight. Do you want to apply?
Don't want to apply?
Yeah.
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you sure?
Have a great day.
Excuse me, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
I'm collecting applications for a date for tonight. Do you want to apply?
No, I have a girlfriend.
Excuse me, can I ask you something?
Yes.
I'm collecting applications for a date for tonight. Do you want to apply?
No.
No.
I'm taken. I'm taken.
It's okay.
Yes.
Your girl is lucky. You're
Yes.
so handsome.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Thank you.
A lot of times these modern women got away with the man planning all of this stuff. The flowers, I'll get you flowers. Oh, well, I really don't want to ride with you. I don't really know you. Well, I don't know you, so why would I be buying you flowers? Oh, well, it's different because you need to impress me. Okay, well, then how is it different if we both meet on a level playing field? I don't buy you anything, you don't buy me anything. There's not really any expectation but to come up here and get to know each other. It's a nice gesture if I were to buy you flowers, but it's not something that should be expected because once again, we don't really know each other. We're just feeling each other out. If I like you and we have another date, hey, I was thinking about you. Oh man, I appreciate that. But too many times, modern women are expecting, they feel entitled to this type of behavior. Well, my friends do it. Oh, this person did and that person did it. Actually, what you're not saying is that person might have not started off doing that. Your friend might have not started off doing that for you. And over time, as they got to know you, they started thinking about you more and more. A relationship is...
I see so many women saying that we need to feel emotionally safe in our marriage. And yes, we do. But when is the last time you checked if your husband feels emotionally safe with you? Wives forget that husbands have feelings too. Real ones, deep ones. He just doesn't talk about them the same way we do. Most men were raised to stay quiet, stay strong, and handle it on their own. So while we are asking for emotional safety, your husband might be sitting there wondering if he can have any sort of feelings at all. He won't say, I'm overwhelmed, but he will come home quieter. He won't say, I feel disconnected, but he will pull back a little. He won't say, I need you, but he will hope you notice something is off. Emotional safety cannot be one-sided. It is not just about us being heard and supported. It is also about making sure that our husband can open up to us without feeling judged or dismissed. So ask him, check in, make space for his feelings too, because he's human and he needs emotional safety just as much as we do.
I think modern women have to start understanding that you're not really the only one out here that has anything to lose. That's what a lot of these modern women do a lot of times. Is they try to say things like, well, you know, it's not good to get married because I'm going to have to be a slave and a servant, and then go on describing all of the things, all of the terrible things that they have to come in contact with. Mind you, the man that they're with is paying all of their bills, pretty much. The man that they're with is paying for the dates. He's paying for a lot of the things that she wants, and she's still complaining. She's still complaining about what he isn't doing, what he'll never be, what he hasn't been thus far. Just completely ungrateful. At some point in time, you have to, y'all be in the mirror looking at positive affirmations. How come there's no positive affirmation to understand how to treat a man? You love yourself. You're beautiful. You is kind. You is strong. You is purty. You is going to be nice today. You is going to be a good person. You is going to be respectful. How come y'all don't put that on y'all's mirror? How come y'all don't put that on y'all's list of affirmations? You is not going to be a jerk today.
A lot of women say they want a good man until they actually meet one and realize he's not easy to deal with. A good man isn't convenient. He doesn't bend to chaos. He doesn't abandon his values just because emotions run high. And this is where confusion starts. If you've never experienced emotional maturity, you'll misread it every time. You call him cold because he won't tolerate drama. You call him distant because he protects his peace. You call him detached because he refuses to beg for approval. But that isn't coldness. That's self-respect. A man who knows his worth doesn't move from insecurity. He moves from conviction. He doesn't chase chaos. He doesn't chase emotional volatility. He builds, he leads, he creates order. And for people raised in dysfunction, peace can feel boring until it's gone. Stability doesn't trigger adrenaline, but it does build a life. A good man requires partnership, respect, and emotional regulation. Good men don't bend, they build, and the right woman doesn't fight that. She rises to meet it.
And I venture to say that a lot more men would kind of move out of the realm of being afraid of rejection if there wasn't, as they perceive it, teeth behind the rejection. Be me. And could walk up to you and say, "Oh man, I really like your energy. I really like your aura, man. You just something about you, man. You're just magnetic." What? I was just saying that, with the way that you act, seem like you're a fun time. Seem like you're a good person to hang out with. I was trying to see if you would like to go out to dinner. Oh, and just say that. I was. That's what I was saying to you, stupid. Stop acting silly. Stop acting like a loser. Stop trying. And that's the point. A lot of these modern women are trying to be offended. They're trying to be. They're trying to find ways to. You said I was what? I just said you was pretty. That's all. That's literally all I said. I said you look good. I said I liked your shoes. That's it. Man, I really like that dress on you, man. That looks nice, man. That blue is your color. Huh? You looking a little bit too hard. I mean, you're standing in front of me in the grocery line. So, yes, I see you. Are you okay? Stop talking.
There's this idea with a lot of young men that they'll hit their prime at 40 and then they can exclusively date young, hot women. I am the young, hot woman trying to date your dad. Let me tell you something. Most of you will not be pulling young, hot women when you're 40. Hello, it's me, the young, hot woman trying to date your dad. You got so much hate. My audience is still mostly men that hate me because of that video. You want to know something? All my haters, they were not in that top percentile of attractiveness I was talking about. It's only the men who didn't peak, the majority of men who were hating on that video. All the men that did peak, all the men that are hot, 35 to 40, they couldn't disagree with me because they know I'm right and they're on a date with me. But I still stand 10 toes down on that video. The reason I took it down is because people in real life are finding it. That made me really think about my digital footprint actually, but I'm still correct.
I just want to offer another possibility, and that is that the small group of men that you're referring to that did agree with you do find you attractive, and that the very large group of men that don't agree with you don't find you attractive. And look, I do not mean that as an insult, because because everyone has different things that they are attracted to, which can be broken down into physical attractiveness and then basically everything else, which includes personality and attitude. For most people, if you come online and you're just bashing and putting down a whole group of people while boosting yourself up like you're in this top 20% of women, it's giving egotistical, and a lot of people are not attracted to that. Truly, it doesn't even matter how your outward appearance is at that point. That's just my 2 cents. That might be what's going on here, so food for thought.
And I think it really has come to a point to where, you know, women are starting to really see men missing in action. You know, where are the men at? You know, used to be in coffee shops, or they used to be over here. They used to be everywhere. Men used to be everywhere. It's just not the case anymore, right? You know, the reason that a lot of these modern women really noticed a man is because a man was in their face, right? And so when something is in your face, then you're more likely to say, oh, here's one over here, here's one over there. You know what I mean? Like, say, for instance, one thing that my wife says is like, man, you know, I never noticed, you know, the type of car that you drive until I got with you. And you'd be like, they're all over the place. I've noticed them. That's why I got one, because I noticed it all the time. But that's how people, you know, if I see something, then I'm focused in on it. I'm locked into it. When men used to talk to modern women, then they were like, oh, the men are everywhere. Man's over here, man's over there. I can get a man. You know, there's a man. You'll never have to worry about a man. But now that men are kind of pulling back, then they're like, where are the men at? Well, the men are still right where they've always been. They're right in front of your face. It's just you don't notice them because they don't talk to you.
Now, many men put women on a pedestal in the initial stages of the courtship process, but in today's day and age, even more women put themselves there. They expect a sacrifice of a certain amount of value. Otherwise, they do not move from their spot. No coffee dates, no drinks at all. Dinner reservations a must. And send a car for me. And don't expect anything in return, Buster. The Lord works in mysterious ways after all. If you play your cards right, give me gifts and attention and acts of service, and it is my pleasure to do so, then maybe I might consider requiting your desire, blessing you with a relationship, but don't count on it. Of course, a relationship with such a woman is really just an opportunity for a man to prolong the sacrifice of value, which is rarely a good deal for the man involved. This is like paying for the opportunity to work your job. Hardly an enticing offer. And this is why idols, listen up ladies, this is why idols typically end up smashed and disregarded. They're too expensive in that they do not consistently and sufficiently bless their worshipers with their heart's desire, and so the faithful tend to abandon them in favor of more, let's say, reliable strategies.
And what modern women keep on asking for is something that over and over again we see. They're just not willing to give. They're just not willing to give it, right? We talk about chivalry, but really all chivalry is just a man being nice. That's really all it is. It's just me being nice, me being respectful. So take that mindset, and now you say, if he's giving me this type of respect, maybe he would want that type of respect back. But to a modern woman, it don't equate like that. To a modern woman, especially now, back in the day when you had women that would think about their husbands, who would cook, who would clean, they would say, thank you for doing so much for me. Your plate's on the table. And when it gets a little bit older or gets a bit, technology gets a little better, plates in the oven, plates in the microwave. You know, if you're not coming home from work for a long, long time, plates in the fridge. It's already wrapped. You can just unwrap it, put it in the microwave and heat it up. Depends on what time you come home from work. If you come home, and some women, and I know modern women gonna lose their stuff when they hear it. Some women would be asleep. When a man walk in the door, he didn't even have to wake him up. They would be up with that thing, and they would get his schedule down, and then they would be up and have his food ready to go. Weird concept. But they did it because, oh, he showed respect to me. He shows love to me. He treats me right. Maybe I ought to do it for him. And so if a man is going to continue to be chivalrous, right, and then stay in your vicinity, then you got to start being respectful back. That's what you don't know. Well, where are all the chivalrous men at? They've moved away from you. They might still be over in this other part of the world, being chivalrous and generous to somebody that's appreciative. But you're not, so I don't ever go around you, so you never experience it anymore.
Stick to OF girls and you have no personality. Thanks for the reminder. I'm working on it. That's what we're doing. We're practicing. Like, I don't say I'm going out to cold approach and have success. I said I'm going to practice my cold approach. I'm trying to work on it so I don't have to hang around.
A lot of people think just because you're successful or just because you have money, you're automatically successful with women. But if you don't work on your personality and your overall social confidence, even if you're financially successful, you'll end up attracting the wrong kind of women. Even someone like Clav, who's got tons of clout, he's realizing that if you don't learn how to organically meet women, work on your social confidence, work on your personality, learn how to talk to people without these elaborate parties, without doing all this elaborate stuff that in the long run ends up attracting the wrong kind of women. Escorts, models, the type of women that just want to use you and extract resources and really just see how much they can get from you. They're not around you to actually develop feelings for you or really contribute anything to your life at all. There's so many people who talk about influencers and successful people in general and say he just gets girls because he has money or because he has clout, but you have to think about what kind of women are they actually attracting. That's why it's so important to learn how to meet people in a natural way and not just rely on social media and dating apps and the artificial dating marketplace that we live in nowadays. I hope you guys got some value out of this, and I'll see you in the next video.
Maybe that's the thing to say. Which is what we have to find out. We have to find out these code words. Like Greg, I would say dinner's ready, and he wouldn't come. And then it would get cold. Well, I didn't find out till like 15 years of marriage that he didn't care if the food got cold. He just never wanted to wait for it. He wanted the food to wait for him. Which of course he hadn't told me before because he thought it was obvious. Yeah. And you don't want to waste any energy stating the obvious, which women don't know about men. So I changed it. Dinner's on the table. Oh, bam. Then I went the extra because, I was a great wife. We'd have a date, and I'd arrive at the restaurant early, and they're like, "This is someone. Yes, my husband's going to join me. Okay, I'll be back. No, I want to order." Well, we're ordering. No, I'd like to order now. He doesn't care if it's hot. He cares if it's sitting there and he gets you. Are you letting me order? So some of them just won't let me order. They just don't believe me. Yeah. But then Greg arrives. And dinner's on the table at the restaurant. You know how many points I got for that? Yeah. I got so many great wife points. Yeah. But if you listen to these slight things, right? Dinner's ready. Dinner's hot. Play with it. Play with it and you'll find out what connects it, which is most of what we got to do is find out what are the words that connect. And one of the things that men don't know about women, there's meanwhile, there's what happens if he gives a deadline, and yet still men are more forgiving of women being different than women are men being different.
I can see that.
Yeah, you don't know what the good reason is, but if that's what comes with all of what's amazing about her, okay, we'll do.
Alright, so boom, don't use dating apps if you want genuine love. Dating apps makes it easy to discard people. You might find someone with good character who has all the qualities you want and still swipe left. It turns dating into a shopping spree. Men, and especially women, get bombarded by a lot of people online. They examine their choices and pick the best one. Many times it's the most superficial option. A lot of times men don't even get any matches on these dating apps. It's all fake love. It's like going on Instagram and seeing who has the most status, the most money, who can afford the most experiences. That's how people, especially women, tend to pick men on these dating apps. I've found that men get more options when they are in person. The ladies can see the man in person and determine if he has good character. I try to use dating apps and I find it's hard to get matches. But when I'm in public, suddenly the ladies are very interested in me. I don't try to curate my profile into a specific fantasy. I'll use dating apps casually because sometimes you'll find good people. But I always prefer meeting people in person. It'll help find real love. Love is about good character. Superficial things are temporary. Once things get boring, good character is what shines through. Love is also not a game of options. You might pick the best option who has the most stuff, but in the end you'll realize there's no real love. It's up to you to use dating apps, but I strongly advise against it. It could ruin your confidence. Drop a follow and share for more. Drizzle Drizzle.
That's my problem. I see the most beautiful woman on earth and walk straight past her without saying a word. And it's not that I'm afraid of rejection. It's just over the years, women have made it very clear that they want to be left alone. See, I'm cool with being told no. It's just when they make me out to be a creep, that's what I have a problem with. And before anyone says, you probably approach in a creepy way, no, I approach in a very respectable manner. And it's definitely been a few times where I'll walk up to a chick and say, hey, how you doing? And then make it out to seem like they being harassed. There's been too many cases where dudes done went to jail over false accusations. I don't even feel like dealing with the hassle.
A disciplined man will always look boring to a woman that's used to a dysfunctional lifestyle. You know how the women say the good men are corny, they boring. I believe that's just an excuse, because if you hear them complain like they want that their whole life, they'll pray to God for it. Matter of fact, they spend their whole life looking for it. They talk so much about us because they can't find it. And then whenever they not thinking about it, they'll tell us, or they just boring, they corny, or they not really good men, they pretend. It's really just a bunch of excuses. I believe women are terrified of being in a relationship with one person who treat them good forever. I just be thinking about little things like what they want from a man. Have y'all noticed they got a long list of requirements and expectations, and they keep adding more to it? Now, I don't have a problem with what they asking for, but I feel like it's something being done to avoid the fact that they don't really want. Another thing is how they complain about bad men, but they make every excuse to stay. And then when they got a good man, they making excuses to leave. And the excuse with a good man is always, I gotta leave for my happiness, but they'll complain to us about their bad boyfriends and husbands instead of just leaving for their happiness. I don't think women like being treated bad. I think they just like it better with men who not always there, who not consistent. Men who do them wrong so they don't have to feel bad about the wrong they want to do. But this might be why you get with women who complain about all their exes doing them wrong, and then they do that same wrong to you. It's probably because she was always doing that wrong, but with a man who always gone, he can't be there to see. When she finally get that man who does care, who is consistent, who does open up and want to connect, then he can see who she really is, and it begin to be too much for them. Subscribe to my YouTube, Planet Reality.
I already know some women are going to hate me for saying this, but if you're walking around saying there are no good men left, baby, you got to look again, because you don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe. And if you believe good men don't exist, you're not going to meet them. You're going to keep running into the same lesson in a different body. And before you get mad, this isn't an insult, it's an invitation. Your beliefs shape your dating pool. Your self-concept sets the standard. And yes, this goes for you too, men. If you're out here saying there are no good women anymore, you might want to pause and check the mirror, buddy, because the world reflects back the lens you're looking through. Change the story, watch the characters change.
If you want to attract your dream man, say yes to the coffee date. There's so much advice online that says that the first date has to be at a nice restaurant or a high investment or nothing. As a dating coach of 7 years, I can tell you that you want to say yes to that coffee date and have that as a standard of what you do on your first dates, whether it's coffee or something quick. And the reason is because it comes down to self-respect. Most high value thing you can do when you are dating to attract your soulmate and meet your person is to value your time, especially on the first date. When you don't know somebody and you're going on that first date, which is almost like a first meeting, it's more of a vibe check. You want to put yourself in a position where you can easily leave and where it's not something that you have to sit through for 2-3 hours if you're not feeling that connection with somebody. High value women know that levels of access to her are earned, and she's not about to give somebody 2-3 hours of her time when she doesn't even know if she's going to like them, when she doesn't even know if there will be that basic connection. The safest thing she can do, and the way that she respects her time the most, is she'll say yes to that quicker date, because to her it's like, great, I can feel out his vibe and I can leave if I don't feel good. This can also reflect on the man asking you out. Just because he's asking for a lower investment financial date doesn't mean that he lacks intention or that he would be a low effort partner. He could have the same mindset as you, where he really values his time and he's more than happy to go out to dinner with you, but first he wants to make sure that there would be that basic connection. Man of your dreams, your future soulmate, he could ask you on a coffee date, but if you are in the mindset of, oh, that's low effort, he's not spending a lot of money on me, if you're listening to all that other advice, you could be missing out on the person who you could be building a life with. The most self-respecting thing you could do is to say yes to that coffee date.
All right, my Jersey ladies. So the consensus seems to be that we are done with dating apps. We are done with hunting men in the wild. And we are just done with men overall. So what if we tried to plan like a single Jersey lady get together, meet up to create new friendships, new relationships? I would do it in Central Jersey because that's where I'm from. And it would just be the easiest way for me to get this together. So if this is something that you would want to do, if you're looking for some additional single friends, put it down in my comments and let's see if we can get something planned.
In 2026, I am no longer part of the independent woman crew. I am no longer part of the crew that says, I don't need a man. I am off of the crew of I can do it by myself. I'm done. Get me off of those committees because, baby, I need a man. I need my husband. I don't know what I was thinking and who brainwashed me. Because if I'm being honest, all of those things were a facade to protect myself from getting my feelings hurt or my heart broken. But in 2026, I'm ready. I'm gonna try this thing out. For real this time.
You're telling me that a woman has to go work like a man every day, and a man goes work and he's tired when he gets home. And a woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding me?
Why don't you want to do that?
What are you talking about? Why don't I want to? You know how fucking tiring that is? Have you done that?
First of all, I do it every day. First of all, do not choose a woman who don't want to be a woman.
Right. So you don't want to be a woman. No, you don't want to be a woman.
Yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. It's a sign of low intelligence. You can lower your voice and speak to me. I'm sitting right here. I can hear you.
And you're yelling.
All this. Oh, I cook and I clean. And like, yeah, that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
when
that's
your
what
car
I'm
need an oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a wife, period.
Okay, so when I see these happy couples on TikTok, it's so amazing because I want that so bad. But it's so frustrating because I want that so bad. And I just don't get it. I can't find it. You know, like I'll find these bad boys and it's just all bad boys. Like, this is me looking for all the good guys, okay? Where are you? I live in Florida. Like, I want a good guy. You know, somebody's gonna text me, call me, you know, hang out with me, chill with me, Netflix. Like, I live in Florida. Where are they? I've been trying to find them. I can't find them anywhere. I don't know, but look, if you are a good guy, just drop a comment, please.
I remember my conversation on my last reel talking about some, oh, you Asian. You ain't gonna have no options compared to white or black men. Okay, I mean, he ain't lying, right? He's not lying at all. On average, we don't got that many options compared to black or white men on average in America. But guess what? I don't give a about it. Asian motherfuckers be at the bottom in terms of the dating market, but guess what? I'm not finna let that stop me. You know why? Cause shooters shoot. And guess what? If you're not gonna shoot the shot, you was never gonna get it. I don't give a if I'm Asian. I don't give a about it. I know most of my shots is not going in because I like women that's not Asian. But guess what? I'm still gonna try. Shooters gonna shoot. I'm not gonna let rejection get the best of me. I'm not gonna put my head down. I'm not gonna stop trying. Just gotta get turned down a time now, bro. Most of my shots is not going in. But does Steph Curry make all his shots? No. And he's the greatest shooter of all time. So to all my Asian men out there, please understand that if you don't make no move,
If you don't shoot your shot, you was never gonna get period. Don't let
You want to know why men over 40 don't date? I'll tell you why. It's because society raised women to commit to careers, shopping, and hot girl summers, and not husbands. And now the men who were once ignored, rejected, and overlooked are watching rebellion backfire and choosing peace over problems. Let's get one thing straight. This ain't about men being better. This ain't about men being weak. This is about men getting wise, men protecting their peace, and men finally realizing what marriage really costs when you choose a woman who ain't built for order, purpose, or submission. And if you're one of those women ready to say, well, maybe he just can't handle a strong woman, sit tight. Because the truth is, he didn't lose interest in you. He gained clarity. The first reason, here's the part women can't stand. Men are realizing their peace is more valuable than your presence. I'm gonna say that again. Men are realizing their peace is more valuable than your presence. So why invite chaos into a house that's already quiet, clean, and under control? A man with structure doesn't chase drama just because he's lonely. He protects his peace like it's gold.
I'm a woman that has my together and I'm past ready to settle down, but men are not approaching me. What should I do, or what advice can you give?
But she says she don't go nowhere.
I go to Target.
The problem is you only going to Target, and that's why you ain't hitting your target. Sometimes the reason you are anti-relationship is because you anti-social.
I'm not anti-social.
You don't go nowhere. She said drop your handkerchief. The only place you're going to drop a handkerchief is in your bed while you watching Netflix. That is your problem. Half the reason y'all are single is not because you are odd, you're not put together, that you don't have a personality, or you're not cute. It's because you're in the house where no one can find you. I get it. Here's the thing. I get it. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. But sometimes you got to be in places where people are looking. And that is the problem. And here's what I would say to everybody in the room. Y'all will go to the conferences, y'all will read the books, you will get the pamphlets, but you won't go outside your house. And so what I challenge you to do is, if you are truly in a season where you are looking for a full husband, you have to give full effort. Sometimes the reason you keep getting these half is because you're giving half effort. You are dating with your spare time. You're not intentional yourself. You always talk about these ain't intentional. You're not either. You're too busy, you don't get out, and you don't talk to nobody. Now hear me out. I hate to be this tough guy. But I hear it too often. Your edges are still together and you single? Get out the house if you want a spouse.
You need to be talking to 5 to 10 women a day minimum. If you're a guy right now, you do not have a girlfriend, a wife, or a girl that you're consistently sleeping with, you are the problem. I have worked in a nightclub for the past 5 years on and off, and you will not believe the amount of gorgeous women I see with just average guys. And if I'm being honest, in most cases, guys that are just frankly ugly. They're out of shape, they're not doing anything, they're drinking the whole time, and they still have a girl in their arm. Why is this? Because guys, gorgeous women have to sleep with somebody. And the thing that I've noticed, most of these guys that are just average in looks, they will just walk up and spam approach. They'll talk to 5, 10, 15 girls in one night, and eventually one's just going to say yes. You have right now, guarantee you, walked past a girl that could have been your wife, your girlfriend, your lover, whatever the case is, and you let it pass up because you were too afraid to learn the skill of just saying hi. I have converted so many women from strangers to women that I was sleeping with just by learning the skill of saying hello. It's not that difficult. You think because you don't have a haircut or she looks like she's mad, whatever the case is, you make up these mental monsters. And most of the time you're thinking, what you're thinking bad's going to happen. It never does. Most women are very receptive to dudes talking to them because it's such a rare skill right now. So if you're on here complaining about women and how they are acting second and third, but you have no real world experience, be quiet. Just go out there and say hello, and I promise you, you'll be shocked at the results. Build the fantasy, build the dream, shatter the illusions.
And you know what's funny is that a lot of these modern women will talk about how they want a man with masculine energy. I want a man who acts this way, does this, you know, the whole alpha man at masculine. Maybe not alpha, but like, you know, masculine. Obviously, they like to say they don't, but they have a list of things in their head that they associate with being masculine, right? whatever. Fine. Problem is, when you actually have that man walk into your life, because you don't really even know what an actual man is, a real man is, then you're like, oh, he's not masculine, or he's not masculine enough, or he's too masculine. You honestly don't even know what any of that is. So it would behoove you, and it would be best for you at this point in time to sit back and learn something. But modern women don't really do that. What modern women want a lot of times is a man in a costume. Really don't even want a man. They want a woman in a costume as a man. They want them. I was actually talking to somebody about this today. I was like, you know what? You really don't want a partner. You actually want yourself. Like, you want somebody like yourself. Well, I really don't want somebody exactly like me. You really don't need anybody exactly like you. You just kind of need somebody that has the same values as you. You kind of need somebody that's going in the same direction as you. That's actually what you need. Now, y'all probably not going to have the same personality. Y'all probably not going to have every single thing in common. Y'all probably going to have likes and dislikes that are on the opposite end of the spectrum. But the values and the way that y'all might get to the same conclusion, but y'all think about it a different way. Does that make sense? That's how you have the same values, right? Like, say for there's a saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So essentially, she might say, well, I like cornbread. You might say, I like cornbread too. But she might like cornbread from, what's that? Yeah, I know Jiffy cornbread, but there's like another one with a K or something like that. Well, I like crustacean or something like that cornbread. It's a really popular brand. I can't remember it. Well, you both like cornbread. It's just, you like different types of cornbread. So maybe one tries the other, and vice versa. I like that cornbread. So over time, you don't have to have Jiffy, and she don't have to have that other type. Just whoever gets what, y'all both going in the same direction, and it's not an argument. It's not an argument. Y'all going in the same direction. But too many times, people actually be going in the same direction, but they fight over the specific way that it has to be done. And you don't need to. Unless somebody is committing a crime or doing something that, like, you absolutely, it's actually one of your pet peeves. You actually cannot stand it. This is something I absolutely hate. Unless it's that, why are you trying to ruin a good thing? That's what you find with a lot of modern women.